The overcasting foot is one of those feet that really do make the edges of your fabric look nice and so that the fabric doesn't ravel. So I have a couple different fabrics here that we're going to use this foot on, but the magic kind of happens with this piece of metal that's jutted out. This is what I would call like a stitch finger on a serger. See how it comes off the back? And what this does is it prevents the edges of the stitching from compressing on the fabric, therefore not puckering it and giving it a better finished edge. You also have a little flange that comes out in front, and you can see it can lift easily so it can accommodate fabrics that have a variety of thicknesses. What this will do is help guide the fabric. Now let's take this to the machine, because then I want to talk about what stitches we're going to use. Now the thing that's going to make this work is choosing the right stitch. So there's a number of stitches that might be relevant for overcasting, and I would recommend that if you select one that you test it out, but I've already tested out stitch number 18 and I know that it's going to do good for this piece of fabric. So I'm going to slide this underneath the machine, and I want to put my fabric far enough back that I'm actually starting with fabric fully underneath where the needle plate is, and I also want to make sure that the edge of my fabric is just touching that black flange. So let's stitch. So if you look closely down inside of the machine, you may notice, and if you can't see it on mine, you'll definitely see it on yours, that the stitches are coming over the top of that little stitch finger, and then they're sliding off as they get past. So this is definitely one of those stitches that you need to have go from front to back out of your machine. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. So now that I'm at the end of my fabric, if I cut my thread, just know that to pull it out, I need to go straight back, right? So here we go. Now I love the fact that this just wraps the edges of my fabric with just enough thread so that it's not going to start shredding on me. And so this is what I'm talking about. You can have fabric that after a little bit of time, you start having all this lifting, and then pretty soon everything's just a big mess. So it does a nice job on this velveteen, but it will also do a very nice job if you have denim. And today's denim, a lot of it has lycra in it, so it doesn't necessarily fray so much, but you do get a lot of this, especially when you've got this kind of bias striation on it. So let's just stitch down this. So today, when I'm finishing off the edges of fabric, I mostly turn to my baby lock serger, but if you're using a specialty color of fabric and you want to match the thread, sometimes it's a whole lot easier to turn to an overcasting stitch like this on your household sewing machine. And to find this foot, all you have to do is check out your local baby lock retailer.